The contraception scandal in Greenland. A group of about 67 women now demanding compensation from the Danish government after they say they were forced to undergo involuntary procedures as young teens to prevent pregnancy. Naja Leiberth telling Danish broadcaster DR that when she was just about 14 years old, an intrauterine device, or an IUD, was implanted without her knowledge of what it was, under the direction of Denmark, which was Greenland's colonial ruler. Last year, a Danish podcast entitled The Spiral Campaign, bringing to light the effort by Denmark in the 1960s and 1970s to limit birth rates in Greenland, including among indigenous women. DR uncovering records that show 4,500 intrauterine devices were implanted without consent or knowledge in girls as young as 13, about half of the country's fertile population at the time. Birth rates in Greenland began a steep decline in the 1960s. Both countries launching an investigation last year after the podcast, with a final report expected in 2025. But the women, now in their 70s and 80s, say they've waited long enough, filing a claim of compensation against the Danish government. Each asking for compensation now, about $42,000 each, according to their attorney. The Minister of Interior and Health calling it a deeply tragic matter and saying in a statement, it is imperative that we thoroughly investigate this matter, which is why a team of researchers currently is conducting an independent and impartial investigation. Denmark's Prime Minister visiting the country earlier this year.
Jeg rigtig glad for, at vi har fået åbnet kapitlet omkring eksperimentbørnene. Det var nødvendigt.
Valerie Castro is back in studio with us now. So, Valerie, walk us through the outcomes here. What have been the outcomes for these women?
So it's been various for these different women. Some women say that they believe that they were never able to conceive, believing that they suffered complications after having these IUDs removed. Some women say they were adults before they realized they still had them and only found out when they went to the doctor when they were having trouble conceiving. The woman in our story, she says she did have difficulty getting pregnant, but she was able to give birth to a child when she was 35 years old.
Valerie Castro, thank you.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.